Welcome back. I'm going to teach you how to raise $1,000 on Instagram in 48 hours. Quickest background, I have been in nonprofit for almost a decade now, and in the last year I started my nonprofit. My whole thing is digital advocacy, digital community, crowdfunding, digital fundraising, okay? And as much as I'm like, Meta really censors a lot of really important human rights advocacy policy, it is such a great platform for virality and to really fundraise money. Okay, let's get into it. So if I were to do a 48-hour fundraiser, I would do it on Saturday and Sunday because people are going to be on social media all day long. The first thing I'm going to do is make a reel. Now, before I even get into how you're going to be making this content, I must tell you to emphasize understanding your brand as a nonprofit or an individual, understanding your target donor, like all of that makes sense. Did I know all of that when I first started fundraising? No, but that information is definitely going to help you. So anyway, Saturday, day one, you're going to make a video. It's going to be a selfie video, maybe some background of the communities that you're working with. You're going to keep it under a minute and 30 seconds, and it's going to be really personal. What you want to mention is who and what you're fundraising money for, the exact amount that you're fundraising, where every dollar goes to, and most importantly, that it's a 48-hour fundraiser. And of course, mentioning what the money is going to be doing. For example, this is a fundraiser I have done multiple times, is raising $2,000 for a malnutrition project in East Bali. So each food box is $50. So what I say is with $2,000, we help X amount of kids. It takes $50 to send one food box. In the food box, there's X, Y, Z, and each thing costs X, Y, Z. You want to make sure you're also accounting for credit card fees and transfer fees. And if you're taking any percent for overhead, mention it. The nonprofit world already has so much stigma about corruption and being non-transparent. Your donors would rather know where their dollar's going than to guess. So if I tell you, hey, 100% excluding any credit card fees is going to help this project, people are going to be like, okay, cool, I'll donate, right? Okay, I just opened the window because I'm overheating. Hopefully it's not too loud, but we are gonna get into our Instagram stories next. So we wanna be posting 5 to 6 stories. Before I get into it, here are some things to keep in mind so you don't get flagged or have limited reach. Number one is you wanna be mindful of how you use the DONATE word because you will get flagged. Instead, use words like support or give, and this is pretty much on like most social media platforms, okay? The next thing you wanna do is avoid any links, both in your caption and also in our stories. That is going to limit your reach because Instagram wants you to pay for promotion. So we're going to have to do a few things that go around that. Also, if you're supporting any causes that have words that could cause any sort of controversy, like SE, trafficking, or certain things, try and find alternative words because those could also get flagged. So getting back into our stories, the first one's going to be like a general, hey, we're fundraising for this cause, this much money in just 48 hours. Make sure you're emphasizing 48 hours. The second story is one of the most important parts of this entire fundraiser. If you already don't have a Venmo business account for your nonprofit or your cause, make one. It's free. It has a very small credit card fee, especially compared to other platforms when it comes to fundraising. And we're going to be utilizing Venmo pretty heavily in this fundraiser. So the next thing is we're going to have a more specific money amount that makes sense for your fundraiser. So if the first one says, hey, we're raising $2,000 for a malnutrition project in East Bali, the second story is going to say $50. $50 allows for one full box of food for a kid, and then you can list out what it is. But then we're going to add a poll. The poll is going to say, can I Venmo request you, ... And then there's going to be A or B. Be creative with the money amount. You know your audience best. If you're just starting out, I would do something like $1, $5. If you've done it before and you have people who you know care about this cause, it's already a nurtured audience, you could do something like $5, $10, $15, $20. It really depends on where you are in your fundraising stage, okay? We do this for multiple reasons. Number one is it causes less friction. They don't have to click on a link, fill out their information, whatever. They are seeing your post, they're reading it, they're feeling inspired or passionate, hopefully, about it, and all they have to do is click yes or no. or not really yes or no, but they click a money amount. They decide in their head, do they want to be a part of this or not? So now this poll is going to be active for the next 24 hours. So you want to be checking it frequently. When you see your poll results, you will be clicking on the people that support and say $1 or $5. You're going to personally DM them and say something like, thank you for supporting. It really means a lot to me in the community. What is your Venmo? And if you have a newsletter, you can also say something like, what is your email, so I can send you updates on how the project is going. Then they're going to give you their Venmo, and you're going to go ahead and Venmo request them. Does it sound like you're doing a lot of work? Yes, it's really not that much work, but you are doing more work. But guess what? This is a very frictionless transaction for your community, for the people that are giving to you. Stories 3, 4, 5, and maybe even 6 are going to be more things, maybe facts, maybe personal testimonials, something to really pull on those heartstrings in a positive way. We don't want to make this negative when it comes to your fundraiser. So now we are at day 2. This is going to be Sunday. Your static image, you can also do a video too, but I think you should switch it up and do a static image, is going to focus on the fundraiser and remind people, hey, we have 24 hours to go. But it's going to be much more of a gratitude post. It's going to say, we've been working with this community or nonprofit or whatever the cause is, and this is the work we've done. Thank you for everyone who supported. And you want to show, hey, this is the work we've been doing, and we're going to continue to do it. It's going to inspire people without necessarily asking in that post, okay? Then when it comes to your stories, you want to wait until it's maybe 23 hours, like almost a 24-hour period for your previous stories to expire, because you don't want there to be too many stories going on your profile at one time. And you're going to repost the reel from day 1. And you're going to say something like 24 hours left to support. Stories 2, 3, 4, those are going to be supplementary to that. So the second story is going to be a poll yet again. This is the perfect time, either on story number 1 or story number 2, to say something. Oh, there's a car. To say something like, hey, we've reached blank on our fundraising goal. If you haven't raised enough money yet, or it's not looking so good, maybe don't show that. But if you're halfway, or even maybe a little bit less, a little bit more, that could encourage people to continue to support you. And then again, for story 3, story 4, you're gonna put some more facts and maybe more testimonials, personal stories, videos, pictures of the community. Your last story, okay, whether it's story 4, whether it's story 5, you are finally going to put the donation link, okay? Whether it's through Donor Box or GoFundMe or Classy or whatever you use, that is where you will have a donation link. At that point, it's at the end of your campaign, and sometimes people go through the whole thing, really miss the poll, don't care about it, but will see that link. And of course, it goes without saying that you should put that link in your bio as well, but we're really focusing on community engagement here. So that's pretty much it. If you want a step-by-step guide for this, I do have a freebie that explains the process A to Z with a little bit of background, and I have examples from my previous fundraisers. It is the end of the year, and it's actually the perfect time to try one of these fundraisers because people are in a good mood. They want to give back, they feel grateful, and it's the perfect time to kind of be like, hey, let's come together as a community and help this cause. Really give it a try. We've had now almost 3,000 people download this guide, and I hope you guys are using it because it really works.